communists, determined to kill me. And my choice was simple. I could either remain here in the safety of your embassy, or I could go outside and attempt the biggest mass conversion in history. I decided to stay, and I've been hiding upstairs ever since. The head of this embassy is Ambassador James F. Mcgee. He was put in charge here by your government because of his firm grasp of world events. Each morning, for the past 4 years, he enters this room, surveys the environment, and graces us with his clarity and wisdom.
Jesus! Look at all those communists!
This is typical of his ability to sum up a situation brilliantly. Mrs. Burns is Ambassador Magee's secretary. All his vital memos are sent through her.
Miss Burns, take a vital memo. To all embassy personnel, unless the new embassy building is purchased, we must think of new ways to make room in this small mansion. It was unfortunate that when George Bush passed through the country a week ago, we were unable to put him up for the night. It was equally unfortunate that no one here recognized him. See, this does not happen again.
Miss Kilroy is Ambassador Magee's bright-eyed, efficient assistant.
I am the only woman in the Foreign Service who knows the words of the second stanza of the Star-Spangled Banner.
And this is Ambassador Magee's other assistant. Not exactly bright-eyed, and not exactly efficient. In fact, the only man in the history of the Foreign Service to accidentally wrap his lunch in a peace treaty.
I've worked in 17 U.S. embassies, some for as long as 3 weeks.
This young man has worked at this one embassy for a total of 6 months. That's the longest he's worked at any one embassy. Why? Because he's pleasant, he's eager, and he's the ambassador's son.
You sent for me, Dad?
This is where it all begins. I'd better get back to my room.
Axel, the leaders of my party would like to discuss the possibility of placing my name in the coming gubernatorial race in our state.
Dad, I think you'd make a wonderful governor. Your broad outlook would appeal to psychotic liberals as well as militant fascists. Something for everyone.
Naturally, in my absence, this embassy must be run with the same brilliant efficiency as accustomed to when I'm here.
This is a quiet little outpost. There should be no trouble.
I'll level with you, Axel. I'm tempted to leave Miss Kilroy in charge, but it's bad for the family.
Dad, the Foreign Service is my whole life. Give me one chance to prove myself once and for all. What can go wrong in 2 weeks?
You were in Brazil for 2 weeks, and you had them importing coffee.
Dad, I know how much that governorship means to you, and I'll make sure this embassy remains a credit to your record.
The only important guest we're going to have in the next 2 weeks is the Sultan of Bashir.
I'll make sure the Sultan gets a royal treatment.
You sure will, Axel. I'm on the verge of concluding an oil deal with the Sultan. We're going to be a very big man next November. Axel, most fathers start their sons in the mailroom and let them work their way up. I started you at the top, and you worked your way to the mailroom. Axel, this embassy's a clean start for you. If it's not run letter perfect, all fire. And if your own father fires you, it's the end of the line. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a nice flight. Bye. Oh, Miss Kilroy.
You called.
I am in charge of this embassy for the next 2 weeks. Business will go on as usual, and I'd appreciate your full cooperation.
Your father should have known better than to leave in charge a man who was asked to leave Africa.
That's not fair. Some of the best men in the Foreign Service have at one time or another been recalled from a country.
Africa is a continent. You've been recalled from the entire continent. And what about Japan? You never mentioned that. Or the Soviet Union, you managed to cover that up too.
You know I've had some bad breaks career-wise.
And you were hung in effigy in Panama.
I admitted I was.
Yes, but you didn't say it was by our own embassy.
Yes, this is the American embassy. No, Ambassador Mcgee is not here. He's on his way back to the United States. This is Axel Mcgee. I'm in charge during his absence. Besides, they're American tourists. Didn't you see the shirt the guy was wearing? What did they take pictures of?
Missile-sized rocket installations. They have seen too much. They must die.
Mr. Mcgee, they're setting up searchlights and machine guns all around the embassy.
I'm sure they didn't realize. Look, I'll give you the film. In fact, I'll give you the whole camera.
Hand them over to us and we will drag them out and shoot them.
This embassy is United States territory. Nobody can be dragged out of here and shot without the written consent of the American government.
Leave these nurses at once. Your behavior is an extreme violation of international conduct.
Who are you?
I'm Axel Mcgee, and I'm in charge of this embassy during my father's absence, and I order you to leave at once. Guns are good, no guns. If you don't go, Miss Kilroy will throw you out.
Mr. Mcgee, something is happening.
Yes, Tommy, I know.
There are soldiers outside. They are staring into the kitchen.
They won't hurt you.
I can't cook if I'm being stared at. I'm that kind of person.
Who are you?
I am personal chef to Ambassador Mcgee, formerly chef to the King of Norway, formerly chef at the White House, formerly chef to the Queen of England. Before that, I did very little cooking.
Don't you terrorize our help.
I had a gang of knowledge, hear gunshots wait and fall.
Stand for Mr. Mcgee, all of the formal protest.
No, you stand for a monologue. Look, you spy on us, we spy on you. Everybody knows it. Why do we suddenly have to pretend it's so unusual?
You do spy on us?
Huh?
How old?
All the time. Espionage goes on between our two countries every day. Why be so hypocritical about it?
It does, huh?
And are they spies? No. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, how do you know they're not spies? You never saw them before?
Are you going to tell me your country doesn't send spies to the United States posing as tourists?
Then you admit they're spies.
What if they are? It doesn't give you the right to enter this building illegally. You're going to start an international incident. This is not just an outrage, but a vicious and cruel attack on the whole free world. I wouldn't be surprised if France took our side.
Mr. Kojak, I have your Foreign Affairs office on the phone. They want you to report back immediately.
He admitted they're spies.
You did, Mr. Mcgee.
Well,
He admitted it. I have it all here on tape.
I get the sense, Miss Kilroy, you know, we spy, they spy.
We do nothing of the sort.
Actually, we do. If we all stop being hypocritical and beyond.
That's enough, Mr. Mcgee.
Will you speak louder, please?
Now, don't twist my words. You come barging in here with guns, and then you wonder why a brutal dictatorship gets a bad name.
This embassy will be surrounded from this day on. The spies will either come out or spend the rest of their lives in here. But first, the world will hear this confession. Goodbye for now.
How could you do it? How could you admit they were spies?
I panicked. I lost control.
What were you thinking?
I'm thinking, don't panic, don't lose control.
You.
Who?
Yeah, you with the vest. Why did you tell them we're spies?
Walter, be careful. He's always eavesdropping.
How could you tell him we're spies? They say we're spies and he says yes. All of a sudden I'm a spy. I'll go on what's my line, they'll never guess.
Where's my daughter? I'll get her. Miss Burns, bring the girl up from the basement.
Yes, Miss Burns, bring the girl up in the basement.
What are you, her echo?
Walter, be quiet.
Those lunatics out there, they accuse us of spying. And this lunatic says yes.
If you were listening to the conversation, you should know I was trying to calm them down.
First, no movie on the plane, and then this.
It's a simple misunderstanding.
How simple?
If we leave the building, they kill us. Simple enough?
Don't jump to conclusions. There'd be a trial first.
Who is this guy?
I'd better call your father. Maybe I can stop him at the airport.
There's no need for that. I can handle a crisis.
Have one, you are one.
A man leaves his family on vacation. He tries to show them a good time. And this is what we have working in our government? Then they wonder why I don't vote.
Well, I've got to make out a report.
Well, that's what you get for taking pictures.
My new hobby is photography. It's my vacation. Am I interested in their missiles and rockets? All I wanted to do was take some pictures.
I wonder if your photos are valuable.
He held the camera backwards. They're pictures of his nose.
I gotta have my head examined. Every time I listen to you, I wind up behind the 8 ball.
Here we go again.
Well, if you had listened to me, we would have taken a cabana in Atlantic Beach.
Every year. Must be Atlantic Beach. What's the matter? They need you to work the tide?
Oh no, we had to go to Europe. $3,500 for 3 weeks of uninterrupted diarrhea.
What's so terrible? My brother suggested leaving Europe. He had a wonderful time.
I'm tired of living for your brother. I have to run my life by her brother. That's a hot one.
I realize you're upset. If I could just get some facts.
Mr. and Mrs. Walter Hollander, Newark, New Jersey.
You want to know the facts? The facts are I have a 3-week vacation. I said, let's go to Atlantic Beach. We'll swim. We'll play pinochle. There's miniature golf. No, her brother says go to Europe. I'm behind the Iron Curtain, no less. I need this like a growth.
Don't you appreciate how the other half lives? We went with the follies to share in Paris.
Are you comparing communism to those girls?
As if he appreciates Europe any place. We took him to Westminster Abbey. His feet hurt. We took him to St. Peter's in Rome. He got dizzy from looking up. We took him to the Louvre. I hate to tell you what happened there.
It's pronounced Louvre. Louvre, that's how much you know.
In the Louvre, he struck a match across the Van Gogh. I thought I'd die.
Have either of you two ever had any respiratory ailments? Oh, bronchorps.
I have this brother, you see. He's a wonderful man.
He's a Nazi.
Do you know what you're talking about?
Take my word for it. He should be wearing an armband.
Ah, here we are, seeking asylum.
Wait a minute. I'm not seeking asylum. I didn't do anything. I'm a caterer from New Jersey.
I'll need your passports, and I have to get some information.
I'm giving you information. It all began with my brother. Quite a lovely individual.
They should have hung him at Nuremberg.
Have you ever bought anything on credit? Oh, boy.
My brother came to Europe last year. He had a wonderful time here. He suggested we bring my daughter. It's cultural. My brother's an intellectual.
Some intellectual, like Mike Tyson.
And you're just a caterer. I mean, nobody pays you to take pictures or anything like that.
Hollander and Blackwell, finest in Newark. My card.
Thank you. Do you work, Mrs. Hollander?
No, sir, I'm an average housewife.
Some housewife. She's a professional mahjong hustler. She carries around her own tiles.
And you accidentally wandered into a restricted area. I mean, you didn't sneak or anything.
I told him it looked like private property, but he had to get a photograph. He said, why? Because there's guards and dogs and barbed wire? And I said, yes, because there's guards and dogs and barbed wire. What'd you think it was, a place that sold guards, dogs, and barbed wire?
And then they chased you, and you had the good sense to come here.
My daughter has a presence of mind.
She did the right thing, Mrs. Hollander.
Sure, so you could tell them we're spies. My wife shouldn't have to go through this. She's not a young woman.
On one hand, we want to protect you. On the other hand, we want to protect the best interests of the United States.
I always thought they went hand in hand.
I'm an old woman.
I didn't mean old, I meant young. Old.
There's nothing to worry about.
Sure, because I'm a caterer, not a spy. Creative catering, it's our specialty. We were the first to make bridegrooms out of potato salad.
He does lovely work. I'll say that for him.
Last month, we had this wedding reception. We did the bride's body in jello. Her head in a very nice clam with fruit punch, spouting out her throat. It was a class affair.
I should have this settled in a few days.
What do you mean? What do you think I'm going to do, live here?
It may require some effort, Mr. Hollander, but we'll show those communists their police state tactics won't work. I'll ask Miss Kilroy if we have some spare cots.
Cots? I will not sleep on a cot. I'm a dignified human being with a hernia.
It's an emergency, Mr. Hollander, and we'll try our best.
I got a business. Sam Blackwell, he can't run it alone. He's the inside man. I'm the outside man. It requires personality.
Mr. Hollander, did you leave some kind of notebook in your suitcase back in the hotel with some kind of party list in it?
No. Oh yeah. The Levin wedding estimate.
What is that?
The Levin wedding. How many on the bride side? How many on the groom side? How much roast beef? How much grapefruit?
Well, the communist police have been working on it, and they say they've broken the code.
What code?
Supply information and troop movement.
Troop movements. That's 11s and the Wassermans. There's more on the bride side because she's paying for the wedding. And they eat like an army. But they're civilians.
It's that damn project trying to frame you.
I can't stay here. Sam Blackwell, he can't run the firm. We got weddings, we got receptions, we got coming out parties.
Well, he'll have his son come in and help out. He's over 21.
His son, who's gonna dress the guy?
Your business can manage for a few days, Mr. Hollander.
Really? You think so? And now, folks, excuse me, I'm going to America. Where's my hat?
Where do you think you're going?
Let them capture me. I'm just a caterer.
This is preposterous.
They want information? I'll tell them how to make grapefruit sections.
Mr. Hollander, you can't go out there.
Go ahead, let him go. Go ahead, big shot. We'll be in here if you want us.
Now look,
Think I won't?
Go ahead, stop talking already and do it.
Mrs. Hollander, don't start trouble.
You think I'm afraid of those guys?
Why should you be afraid? Well, they're only the secret police. They'll arrest you and torture you. What's there to be afraid of?
You think I'm afraid to walk out?
Go ahead, get brainwashed. In your case, it'll probably help.
Mr. Hollander, I strongly urge you not to do anything rash.
Go ahead, let him go. Go!
You know if any of those guys belong to the Masons?
I've been hiding down in the basement. Mr. Mcgee, this is my daughter, Susan. She was a cesarean. How do you do, Mr. Mcgee?
Axel Mcgee.
Are we free to go home yet?
Home?
Sure, we're free to go home. You see what you're doing out there thanks to this guy? We're liable to be stuck here 3 to 4 days.
I realize it's terrible.
I think it's fun.
Well, it can be fun. Some people might look upon this as an exciting experience.
Some people bought Edsels.
We could be worse off. This place is lovely.
And, what are we supposed to do about Seth?
Seth! Oh my God!
Please forgive her. In her panic, she's completely forgotten that she gave birth twice.
Well, I wasn't even worried about Seth. He's at camp.
Camp ends tomorrow. And what's going to happen if we're not there to let him in? He'll be unsupervised. He'll run amok. He'll live in the streets. He'll rape. He'll loot. You know our son. He takes after your brother.
I just thought of something. Susan's getting married next weekend.
That's right. I have a deposit on the hall.
Getting married, huh? Well, I suppose you're anxious to get out of here.
It's a long story, Mr. Mcgee.
Let's not discuss it. The date's been set.
Well, we may have to push the date back a little bit. So you better call the owner of the Renaissance Luau and get your deposit back.
And you better call Donna. He'll be worried sick.
I'll call. Mr. Mcgee, what's the longest anyone has ever had to stay here?
Well, we give asylum to a priest who's been living upstairs for, a while.
What's a while?
You know, a while.
How long?
6 years.
6 years? I said, let's go to Atlantic Beach. We'll swim, we'll play pinochle. No! Her brother says go to Europe. May he rest in peace.
Well, he's not dead.
He should be.